Now we're going to install what I call essential plugins. Now, some of these are going to be for search engine optimization. If you don't want your blog to be visible in the search engines and you don't want people to find it, in other words, you're setting up a private blog or at least semi-private, then you can skip everything to do with search engine optimization. But in most cases, you're going to want to do that. Before we install the plugins, let's go to settings and set a couple things up here. First of all, the default tagline is just another WordPress weblog. So change that to something that makes sense for your photo blog. While we're in here, you can decide if you want people to be able to register for your blog and comment. And you can also set your universal time code here. Okay, and save the changes. Okay, so let's get on with our plugins now. What we do, just go to plugins. Now, even before we install anything, what we're going to do is we're going to activate the Akismet anti-spam plugin. So just click activate there. Okay, now you must enter your WordPress.com API key. So click on that. If you don't have an API key, what you will need to do is go to WordPress.com and set up an account. They will then email you an API key. So just put your API key in here. Okay, so I'll just paste it in here and we'll update. Now you can also have it automatically discard comments on posts older than a month if you want. You can just check that if you want to have it do that. That way it's really hands-free as far as spam control is concerned. Alright, now let's go to add new, and this is where we're going to add our plugins. So what we need to do here is we're going to do a search, and we're just going to go to popular here, and this is going to be where we're going to find a couple of them that we can download right away. Okay, the first one is the all-in-one SEO pack. Okay, so just click install and install now. Now here what you have to do is put in your FTP information. This is the same information you use when you upload your file. So basically it is your domain name is your host name, your username and password for your hosting account, and connection type is FTP, and then click proceed. Okay, so put that in there, click proceed, and it takes a little bit here, but then it installs it for us. Okay, so it's installed for us. We're going to go back to the plugin installer, and then we're going to go back to popular again. This time we're going to install Google XML sitemap. This also helps us in our search engine rankings. So we do the same procedure here. Click install now. Okay, click proceed, and it'll install that one for us as well. Okay, so that one's installed as well. So if we go back to our plugins here, just click on installed. What we can do now is we can activate them. So first let's activate the all-in-one SEO pack. Okay, and it must be configured, of course. So just click here and we'll go and configure it. Okay, so first of all, you could think about making a donation. It's a good plugin. So if you use it on lots of your blogs, it's a good thing to do. We'll enable it here, and then we can fill out some of the stuff here. Now this is the homepage title and the homepage description and the keywords here. So you could put those things in there. That's really all you need to do with this plugin, because the rest of it has been optimized already for you. For instance, post titles will have the post title with a pipe and then the blog title after them. This is optimized well for search engines. Okay, other than that, you don't really need to do anything else unless you want to. Okay, so go ahead and put the information in here that's relevant to your site. Okay, so we'll fill that out and then we'll update the options. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is go back and set up some more things here. So we'll go back to our plugins. Now what we need to do is activate the Google XML sitemaps. This notifies Google of any changes to our blog. And it gets it to come back and search for us. So let's go into settings here. And then let's go into XML sitemap. Okay, now before we go any further here, let's go to our FileZilla. Click reconnect here to reconnect up. Make sure we're in public_HTML. Now what we need to do is create a writable folder. The reason we need to do this is because the sitemap needs to write files into a folder, and we don't want to unlock public_HTML to be writable to the world as a security risk. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new directory. So right click, create new directory. You can call it anything you want. I just call it sitemap. I always do. Like that. Okay, then go and find sitemap. Right click on it. Click File Attributes and set to 777. Click OK. Okay, now we can go back here and we're ready to install our sitemap. Now, really all we need to do here is roll down to our sitemap location, which is right here. And right near the end, you'll see it says sitemap.xml. Right before that, put in the word sitemap or whatever you called your sitemap directory and slash like that. Okay, so it says /sitemap/sitemap.xml here. You need to do the same thing down here. Make sure you have the syntax right there. Okay, and really that's all we need to do here. Now you can change any of these other things if you want. For instance, how often it's going to go and look for changes. I always just leave it the way it is. It works just fine. Now I update my options. Now at this point we haven't built a sitemap file yet, and we're not going to, because right now all we have in this blog are junk posts. If we go and look here, okay, this is what our blog looks like. We don't really want to ping Google at this point because we got nothing to show it. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to continue with the search engine optimization, since that's what we did here before we go and install the photoblogging plugin. So what you want to do is you want to go to permalinks. Now remember, this is only if you want to search engine optimize your blog so that it's easy to find in the search engines. If it's private, you can skip the plugins that I just showed you, and you can skip this step as well. What we're going to do here is go to custom structure, and then you're going to put in the following tag here. So what that's going to do is, instead of your link looking like this with a question mark, P = and the post number, it will have the post category and the post name in the URL. Okay, before we click Save Changes, let's go back to FileZilla once more. Let's go to the root directory. And then again, let's make public HTML writable. The reason we're doing this is it makes it easier to have the permalink code put in for us. Otherwise, we got to do it manually. So if we just make this one change here, let's go back and save changes. Okay, when we come back in here, everything's set up. Now, if we didn't do that step, we would see some code in a box in here that we would have to put in manually into our .htaccess file. Okay, so let's go back here now and let's set the permission back the way it was to 750. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll go and install a couple of more plugins. What we want to do here is add new. Now what we're going to do is we're going to type in Photoblog in here, all one word. Like that. Search plugins. And we're going to use yet another Photoblog. This is a really good photoblogging plugin. So click install. Again, we're going to click install now and proceed. Okay, we got an error here. If that happens to you, just go back and do it again. Okay, so we're just going to do it again. Okay, so there it is. It's installed it for us a second time. So we'll activate this plugin. Okay, and that's all installed. In the next video, we're going to go over some setup.